If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. 'Cause every train there ever was has gathered there for certain, because today's the day that Jenny hosts the Monday Club.
Hello to you.
Yay!
I forgot half the words there. I'm trying to mime along and I forgot all the words. Look, it's great to see you all. We've got a grand turnout already. Welcome, of course, to the Monday Club live on Monday nights, 7 p.m. UK time. And you're always all absolutely welcome. Great to see you. I hope I find you well. And I think I'm going to have to... I just heard that come off the track.
Yep, it's been naughty.
Bit nutter. So I will sort that when it comes round. Luckily, I don't think it can derail me.
Gronkston Model Railway has already seen the TARDIS.
Oh, is it on that shot? Well, I will hide the Doctor's modesty. Does that mean Garthian is not... You didn't even give Garthian a chance. But look, it's great to see you all. Welcome back to the Monday Club. The perfect antidote for lockdown isolation blues. And I'm just waiting for... I'm actually running... I think it was last week we put up a video. Might even have been the week before. Reviewing the all-new DCC Concepts Stay Alives. And really, really pleased with these.
Staying alive, staying alive.
No, stop that. So actually we're putting them on a full road test at the moment, like we did with the ABC shuttle modules. And let me just grab that. If that's going to be naughty.
Turn it round. See if that works.
At some point maybe, but right now, what I need to do is just, I'm going to remove that. Sorry about that. It's amazing, isn't it? Everything was working fine for ages whilst you're setting up, and then as soon as we go live, boom, there you go.
As soon as you go live?
Yep, that's the one. Sorry, that is exactly what I said.
As spoon as your beehive?
Yeah, so, hi there everyone. We've got Pete Clark, Johnny Rotten, John Nutman, J94, Josh's Train Room, Bagnall Dave, Flymo Chairman 1, Chris Hales, Heritage Railway, Cooper and District Model Railway Club, I think with Gary Lewis, Pete Clark, Patrick Ling, Rachel Houston, Garthian, who says, I was trying to get chat working on my iPad. It went funny for some reason. It starts telling lollipop stick jokes at you. I say.
No, he said it went funny.
It went
I'm suggesting that the lollipop stick jokes aren't funny.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
As you can tell tonight,
I'm trying to read people's names out here.
Would you like me to go and get your special drink?
Oh, I forgot I've got special... Yes.
Would you also like a blanket? Because I can see that you're a bit chilly.
Actually, I'm all right. Once I get going, I'll be warming up. Of course, it's obviously quite cold weather. It's really grotty weather outside. We've also got Southern Train Girl, Ian White, It's My Model Railway, Paul Gorton, Bagnall Dave, Philip Page, Clive Cobold... Roof Railways.
Oh my goodness, thank you
so
my
much, word.
George.
Oh my word, gosh. George Botterini incredibly generously, gosh, straight out of the stocks as well. Oh, pizza time, he says, with a very generous donation of $10 US. Thank you ever so much for that. That is incredibly generous of you. Who else have we got? Ron's Garden Railway, John Holding, S.J. Carter, Martin Searsma, Aiden's Railways, Flymo Chairman 1, Marin Garvanovich, Richard Swiderski, Edward C. Tucker, Layout Newbie, The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge Layout, big hello to you, not seen you in for a while, Ron B, yes, the demonstration effect, aka Sod's Law, Damien McKenna, Samuel Ives, Charles Walsh, it says, hi from across the pond, New Jersey, USA. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you all as well. Of course, last week we had the absolutely exciting Hornby announcements. I say exciting. Now, it's something I said at the time. Hornby could quite easily have rested on their laurels, but they came out with a huge new range. And now this week, in fact, you may have already spotted it. In fact, just coming into shot on the left-hand side of the screen right now, you'll be seeing just sandwiched between the observation coach and the last in the rake of Pullman is that Hornby six-wheel brake. It's not a brake, it's actually a four-compartment first. It does have the working lights, but they're not switched on at the moment. basically because I forgot to, and I'd only forget to turn them off again. But that's going round, so hopefully we'll get some closer shots on that. Really, really grateful to Hornby who sent that over for review. Have been posting some pictures of that on the Facebook group, but also on a number of other sites as well. Because it seems that I'm one of the first people to be able to get hold of it. So I thought I did some measurements as well. So if you're after a few measurements of it, I did post some details on RM Web in the appropriate thread. That full review is coming on Wednesday, but then this morning actually I had a really great 2-hour-long chat with Simon Kohler. We're going to condense that down into the interview on Friday. I did have a structure with questions, so we'll basically boil that down to the questions that that worked. Simon's actually very, very talkative. Once you get him going, he really has such a wealth of knowledge, such an enthusiasm for the hobby. So I was having to alter the questions on the fly because he'd sort of go on and he'd stray into another area that I knew I had another question lined up. And he'd kind of answer it, so I had to kind of... he kept me on my toes, but it was very, very enlightening. Excuse me. So John Nelson says, hi all, John N from North Carolina checking in. T-Bone bought a PKD D30 kit, so expect Rails to announce a Backman exclusive ready to run one next month. I did almost jokingly say a day before the Hornby announcements, I think somebody was saying, well, we really need something like a Lion. And I should have said, say, somebody needs to buy an expensive kit and start building it. Just, take one for the team so that Hornby would announce that Lion. I didn't say that, and in the end, they didn't announce it. But what's interesting, actually, what came across in the interview is that Simon does have a passion for things like the pioneering era of railways. So he's been behind very much getting the rocket back into the Hornby range and developing that. Excuse me. Now, of course, he didn't drop any spoilers, and nor would I have ever asked him. But I did get a kind of sense, and I could be wrong at this, but a sense that there may be more to come in that kind of era one period. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that. Right, what else we've got? Stephen Cameron, hi to you. Daryl Hearn, just updated my Lima Class 60 to DCC running. It is very, actually, it is a really great thing to do. If you, oh, excuse me, sorry, I got the hiccups from the Diet Coke. It is a really good thing to do, it must be said, that if you've got older locomotives but you go DCC, don't completely write them off, because a lot of the older locomotives that were never DCC ready can be just as effective runners on DCC. In fact, I did a video on DCC converting things like the Hornby X L&Y Pug. Never been issued DCC ready, but actually quite an easy one to do, and they do run very reliably if you add in a stay alive into them. I've had some incredibly reliable running from them. But also the J94 Hunslet Austerity as well. I've done some hardwire fitting videos on those, and they work really well. Even old split chassis locos. I've done a video on making the old Bachmann Class 4 shunter with that big split chassis block in it. I did a video not only converting that to DCC but fitting stay alive and all sorts, and it actually did run really, really well. I did the old Bachmann split chassis J39 because that's a model that we're still waiting for a modern replacement. It's been out of the Bachmann range now for a good few years. I know they've announced, or they did announce quite a few years ago now actually, that they were going to be producing an updated one. They've done one in the Graham Farish range in N gauge, but I got bored of waiting, so I actually bit the bullet and I converted an old one, and actually it does run all right. Lee Holden, hi to you. James Hardy, who asked, are the new Hornby coaches on sale yet? Now, what I do know is that the new 4 and 6 wheel coaches from Hornby are at Hornby's warehouse. Retailers are placing orders for them. As far as I'm aware, they weren't in a position to place orders until Monday last week. So I would expect that retailers should start to receive them this week. They are ready to go, and it's something I said about the Hornby releases, that there would be something that would just be like, and we've got this, and it's out next week sort of thing. And I think pretty much the 4 and 6 wheel coaches are that thing. Now, I know a lot of people have been speculating online, because, you know, the big elephant in the room, of course, is that Hatton's got the Project Genesis coaches, been working on them for quite a number of years. And I did manage to actually talk to Simon a bit about the development process. And it was, what was interesting was that Hornby have apparently had this is a project that has been slowly worked on for quite a few years. And he was telling me that it's always got put to one side each year as something else. It's like, well, you know, we need to do that, so we'll just put that to one side. And so it is a project that they say that they have been working on for a long, long time. Now, I was very lucky to be able to handle and review the Hatton's Project Genesis EPs, with the working lights in one of them, all the internal details there. They weren't painted and finished. But what I will say, and I do say it in the video, is that the Hornby coach, it feels a little bit less refined than the Hatton's one. It's still a good coach. There are some really great aspects on it, but for me, being able to compare it, albeit not there and then side by side with the Hatton's one, the Hatton's one is a bit like comparing the different Class 66s. You know, you've got everything from a railroad model through the Bachmann model to the Hatton's model, and in some respects, those 4 and 6 wheelers, you've got the Hornby model, which is a good solid model, and you're comparing it with a Hatton's model that is up there at more the Acura scale end of the market. And actually that does segue quite nicely. We've got the Acura scale train running around. I haven't got one of the 33s or 37s or 55s. They are still forthcoming. I'm still waiting on them. I know there has been a little bit of a delay caused by COVID. I think there was some updates that they wanted to make before they were released, which did push things back. But we've got the PTA tipplers going around there in the British steel grey and orange. I love that rake. And they've got the working tail lights as well. Again, it doesn't have the working tail light on, but we've also got the Carwood's coal PFA. I can never remember what the designation for those wagons is. We've got 344 people in. It's a great turnout. Great to see you all. I hope I find you all well. And let me just... oh, gosh. It's so hard to keep up to date, actually, in the chat. A big hello to Wardle Road. Seeing you there. Underground Eric. Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond. J. Paul Anderson. Model Railway Noob. SJ Carter. Let's have a look. Brian, the Angels share model railways. Starkiller 100. Where is the coach? Right, the coach. You're going to see it. Look for the coaches with the white roofs on your screen now, and you'll see that little short, and it is actually noticeably lower than the other coaches. They are quite a small item. Now that going round is the Hornby 6-wheel coach. Now that is a 4-compartment first class coach. I have fitted the footboards. Let me go to a different camera angle, see if we can capture it. The trouble with the cameras that we've got up here is that they have to be quite far away from the model, and of course the frame rate and the actual resolution is dropped down, because otherwise it would clog the feed and you'd end up watching me look like I'm on a video phone from Kabul. Now hopefully we might see them a little bit better. Oh, look at that, we've just been bowled by the... Right. I'm going to stop that train there. We're being bowled by the Class 27 and the parcels train. No, I didn't mean go backwards. Right. So I've parked that. In fact, actually, let me just try and bring that forward so that we can just get the coach in question into shot. So I'm just going to speed her up a bit and... just try and get that coach into shot. So just bring it to there. So you're now seeing on shot. I'll just stop that train temporarily so you can take a look at it. And those of you watching us on the big screen, you might be able to zoom in a little bit. I know the resolution's not like massively great because of the bandwidth issue, but that is the new Hornby 6-wheel coach. Right, who else have we got you in here? Bang got you, Junction, Carl Brond. Hi to you. Upwell and onwards. Right. Alan Reynolds, PVA J-Cloth Alan says hello. Oh, wow. It's great. And that is a great tip, actually. The PVA soaked J-Cloth instead of plaster bandage does work. It's a great method of constructing scenery. In fact, Jablight Mountain that you see there on the screen right now is constructed in that manner. So it really is a great and cheap way of doing scenery. It does take a lot longer to dry. But also, when all the model shops are shut at sort of 8 p.m. on a Saturday night, and the only place that's open is somewhere like the Range or Asda, you can still go out and get J-cloths and PVA. But getting plaster bandage can be tough. David Scott says, the lighting on your face is very bright. It is rather, isn't it? So let's just... Oh, let me... see if we can swap them around. So probably want to let's just turn that around a little bit. Doesn't really make any difference, does it? Where is that light coming from? It's what's weird, I think it's that over there. It's probably because the cupboard monkey stood up. Let me just turn that one back on, see if that helps. Unfortunately, yeah, I seem to be super saturated. I'm like sort of like cheesecake white in the camera. Somebody said that. Oh,
perhaps that'll help.
Oh yes, it will. Haha. Yes, beer goggles are engaged. You know, actually, it took you a bloody long time to walk to the fridge and back for this.
I was stoking the fire and getting it going again.
Oh right, oh, had it gone right down?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
So
right.
Yes, strong bow.
Yeah, it's
a distant
also
cousin of the Spanish archer.
Is it?
You've heard of the famous Spanish archer, elbow.
Oh, right. It's weird. When you're not used to alcohol, the alcohol is very sharp in that. Right, anywho. Aldendale Junction, hi to you. Anthony Dodds, hi Jenny, you're going to weather your new wagons.
You're oversaturated because of that.
Is it that way? Well,
yeah.
We tried different lights and we weren't sure. But if you look, I'm still oversaturated.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
Because you haven't been out the house much, and that's all. One right behind you.
Well, that's a shame, because that's what we normally have on.
Right, well,
it's all that banging.
I know.
Do you hear the banging?
Jen, I'm deaf. I didn't hear anything.
Right, well, there's banging if you want to check the cameras. Right, David Scott, sorry, yeah, that's one I just read out. The lighting on the face is very bright. Sorry, there's not really anything we can do about that.
There's nothing happening outside, Jen.
Wardle Road, the Acura scale wagons are some of the best wagons on the market. Seen some in person, amazing. Yeah, and I'm very, very lucky to have been able to review pretty much most of the Acura scale range. And I've not seen a bad wagon yet. I'm really... Oh, excuse me, a lot of gas in that. Really, really looking forward to the new 37 and 55 from them. And actually, talking of the 55, one of the things that I spotted in the Hornby announcements is the TTS range has expanded, and it's expanded to include a TTS decoder in their Railroad Class 55. Now, I predict that they will be an incredibly strong seller. So if you want what actually amounts to quite a cheap sound chip for a Class 55, that's what you should be ordering, because they are going to sell out. And then there will be a glut on eBay of non-sound fitted Class 55s, because those sound chips, they're going in something else. I'm sorry, I have to say it, it's true.
So someone asked me while I was doing the fire, but I can't see who it was now, I can't find them, whether I was aware that the MicroProse label was coming back. Oh. And yes, I was aware. I don't think they're going to be any of the same people that's involved. I think it's just they've resurrected the name. The same way that, who was it?
Jewel?
No, there was a company in France resurrected the name Atari. because their own brand name had become synonymous with budget titles that weren't very good. So they resurrected Atari
and
instead.
that does happen.
Infograms.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does happen. Ian White says, I see Daypol have shut their factory for a while. Yeah, I saw this as well. They put this out on their Facebook group. Really sad to see. I think they may have been really struggling a bit with obviously having to have a lot of people working from home, social distances. I think they may have been struggling a little bit for a while. If you've ever been to the factory in Kirk, it's not the biggest of locations. And they won't have done that lightly. And certainly I think we're going to see a lot of other manufacturers possibly having to do similar at their UK arms. So I think this is going to have a knock-on effect with a lot of the announced Daypol models. So unfortunately, I think even if it hasn't been announced, I don't think it's been officially announced, expect some of the delivery schedules for Daypol items to be rolled back out of their control because of COVID. What?
That's something like a mark on your lip.
What, there?
Yeah.
Dry skin.
Fair enough. Mark Holt says, is it Les banging at the door? I'm sure he misses you as much as we miss him.
Yeah, we miss Les. Les, if you watch this, we really do miss you. And we're socially distanced. I kind of go in as a customer to a shop, as I was doing before lockdown. So I'm looking up there. I've bought a new picture from Les. And it's a shame. I've really missed Les because he was a great friend. And we worked so well together. And I have so missed.
And when you two start talking, you can't stop them.
Yeah.
Hi, Sir Patrick Furlong. How are you doing?
Sorry, I was waiting for it to go, yeah, I'm all right.
But yeah, you two, once you get started, you can't stop you.
All right.
Whether it's a chat or a project. Filming. I'll tell you now, guys. Filming Jen and Les for that Christmas special we did a couple of years ago.
Oh, the Hornby one.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that was
goodness.
great, yeah.
Almost as soon as I'd sat down after filming a section, because it's finished progress, I'd sit down and say, right, we need you for the next bit. Like,
Yeah.
You're that fast.
Les and I work incredibly quick because we both have this passion for doing stuff. And we also have this impatience, like, gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. So we work incredibly fast, which is why we work quite well together on a team for Great Model Railway Challenge. Right, I've got some questions coming in. I need to go through these. What?
Ham Shackleton says, getting momentary dropouts here. We've got no connection issues as far as I can see.
I can only assume it'd be possibly at your end.
It could be at your end, it could be anywhere, couldn't it? That's the problem these days.
Right.
Madden Stream Railway says, I presume the other voice is the cupboard monkey. My regards to the dear fellow. Well, thank you very much. I'm not a dear fellow. I am quite expensive, but
Yes. This is Zoe, the cupboard monkey.
I just have that kind of voice because I am quite ill.
Yeah, we're both suffering actually with illness at the moment, so we both sound a little bit raspy.
It's sniffles. I can't get over the sniffles.
Right, Clive Carbold says, Jenny, I have ordered 2 of the new Hornby Class 87.0 electric locomotives in intercity executive livery coming in November. Yes, I spotted those as well, and I'm really looking forward to them. And I will probably, oh my word, be buying one of those.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you so much. I will get to that in just one moment. Let me get through these questions that the cupboard monkey has been not allowing me to answer. Gary Lewis, hi Jenny, I just received the Battle of Britain 92 Squadron 1 on eBay, which needs DCC hardwiring, so looking for a suitable decoder to fit. There are quite a few actually from numerous different ranges. Any of the 8-pin decoders that have the wires, you just cut the plug off and then hardwire the wires. Obviously, Trainomatic, I can vouch for them. Really great product. They sell an 8-pin, and actually I'd go for the 6-pin wired decoder because it's always in stock and it's the cheapest one in the range, but it has all the functionality of the 8-pin decoder, and because you're just cutting them off and you only need 4 of the wires, that's a great way to do it. There's also the Zen Black range from DCC Concepts, the Rails Connect range from Rails, which is exactly the same as the Zen Black, except it doesn't have the ABC shuttle and the connector for the stay alives. So all of these great decoders, any of those, just make sure you've got the wires that you can use to hardwire in.
So Tim Condrop, when he donated very generously, he asks, what is the most wanted engine that you wanted this year?
Me, Probably the Class 56, which Hornby has provided. So the small logo Class 56 was one that I decided I really did want. And they have provided on that. I really wanted the lion.
We'll go check on the fire.
Yeah, no worries. Well, what did you put on it? Coal.
Haha, everything.
Oh my word. Oh, the cupboard monkey's playing a game of Will It Burn, it seems.
I'll be back.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, I think I got what I really wanted. There was no disappointment. So why didn't they bring that out? But I know quite a few people asked for the S160 in various liveries. Now, one of the things that came up in my interview that I've recorded today, and it's hopefully going out on Friday, with Simon Kohler, was that they do take on board what people are asking for. So, he says, they don't live in a vacuum. They do read all the comments. They do read what people put on internet fora like RM Web. So they are aware of what people keep asking for. And of course, there's the wish lists, the wish list polls as well, things like that. So if enough people do keep asking for something, then it's likely it will get considered. So I think these things will come eventually. Finally, before I skip forward, Ron's Garden Railway says, Jenny, do you think that the new Blue Pullman from Hornby is out of the pockets of most modellers at over £300, then the carriages at £36 each? The full train is 9 carriages long. I think it's definitely going for a very specialist market. I think the problem that you see with these is it does cost a lot of money to make these. And I did outright just ask Simon about the pricing issue. We did talk about that in the interview, and it was very open and honest about that. And essentially, these things do cost a lot to manufacture. They are fiddly. They've got to be assembled. And you have to factor in that at the end of the day, Hornby is a company answerable to its shareholders. It has to, it's not there just for the charity of people who want a cheap model. It's got to turn a profit. The retailers have got to turn a profit. And, things like that are expensive. So unfortunately, that is what it costs. Could they make it cheaper? Arguably, you could make a sort of like a railroad type version. But would people buy it? And here's the thing, is that when they've tried a sort of a budgety railroad version of certain models by not having as much of the decoration and finish, they haven't necessarily sold as well. They haven't been commercially viable. So it is a tricky one, and there's no easy answer. But I think that that's one that probably more for the diehards who must have it. But yes, I agree, it is very expensive.
So are we seeing what will eventually become a stratification of the hobby? Because they seem to have these very expensive, very high detail items from many companies now. And you're saying that the railroad stuff isn't selling as much. But what if they produce them in lower numbers, and that's like the entry level stuff? Then you have a minute. But what's missing at the moment appears to be the middle ground.
Yeah, and Hornby actually, they've done a lot to encourage new people into the hobby. We did talk about the play trains range and the purpose of that and the importance of that. It's not aimed at you or I, but it is aimed at getting new people interested in the hobby. And Simon made a very good point with that about, you create the nostalgia that people come back to. People talk about like, it's a nostalgic hobby. A lot of people come to it in their middle age because of that nostalgia for a time when they were young. But if you don't create that nostalgia, that the memories of playing with trains, of enjoying that, if instead they go off and play computer console games and there is no model railways as a child, they won't come into model railways in their middle age because there's no nostalgia to hark back to. And actually, that's exactly what the Play Trains range is aimed at. But it is an expensive hobby. But when you look at a lot of other hobbies, they're not cheap. And you could argue, imagine if you were into spelunking or hang gliding or flying a glider. There are a lot of more expensive hobbies than collecting model railways, arguably. And unlike, learning to water ski, you can't change your mind and sell your experience on learning to water ski, but you can sell the models if you, for whatever reason, decide to change your mind. And so I'm finally at the scrolled ahead. I'm going to have to stop you there, Cupboard Monkey, because I do have to personally thank Tim Condrup for that very generous donation of £4.99. Thank you ever so much for that. You wanted to say something?
Wow, it's warm in here.
Yeah, because you've been running around. Hello to Wamgok. Says sounds drop out a few times. Not sure about that. Right. T-Bone says it's a shame that Hornby didn't think to do a concert 9F with the Airbricks. Because actually, the 9F announcement I thought that surprised me. Now I know that they did the Crosty 9F, so you could argue it's a logical progression. But given that there's a Bachmann model which isn't actually too bad. Maybe I'm going to be shot down in flames, but I quite like the Bachmann 9F. I think it's a good, solid model. I was very generously sent one, and it's a great model. And I'd have thought it was a dangerous move to go head-to-head to a model that isn't in need of a total upgrade, but they've done that. They've gone down that route. And I think that maybe in next year's range, you might see ones with the air pumps for working the concert iron ore trains. Hello to Peter Leyland. Remember, a Monday clubber is never late. They are just fashionably on time, and everybody else has turned up early. Right. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Richard Swiderski says ordered nearly or over £1,000 on Hornby up to today. I know that feeling. I put my order in I've ordered 2 rakes of the 4 and 6 wheel coaches. Now, I do stress to add, I'm still going to be buying an awful lot from Hattons from the Genesis range. But I've put an order in for the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway and the London and North Western Railway rake. Yeah, the complete rake.
No, the complete railway is what I was saying.
Yes,
I've put an order in for the London and South Western Railway. So, all of it? Yes, all of it. I'm buying 95% of the shares.
I have no idea where that came from either. Right. In fact, now let's go to the roving camera. You haven't moved the Doctor Who, so that's
No, I haven't, because I was dealing with the fire.
All right.
So that we don't freeze.
Well, we're not freezing. Apparently, you're overheating now.
Not
right.
yet.
Bagnall Dave says hello to you, by the way.
Hello.
Hello. Madden Steam Railways. I think we all have the sniffles at this time of year. Wish you all better. And actually,
yeah, we're getting better.
One of the fringe benefits I've found of lockdown and all of this sort of like with the hands and the masks is I've not had a proper cold all year. You know, the like squirt.
Yeah, the constant cleaning of.
Yeah, I think we should keep that because it's really kept like niggly little colds and sore throats at bay. Freezy says, do you know when the eco products are being manufactured after the lockdown end? I need to get a lot of traction. Oh, Pico. Sorry, Pico, I think you mean. Yeah, again, we talked about Dapol struggling a little bit, having to shut down the UK factory. There's nothing going on that. I just go to that.
I don't know about that.
But unfortunately,
there was a fun little thing with some Halloween people, wasn't there?
Oh
and
yeah,
no
there
one
was.
Noticed.
Yes, Garthian will be glued to it next. It's a Doctor Who. It's a Doctor Who. No, it's not Doctor Who. But unfortunately, Sexy Santa's helper is actually visible on where the roving camera is at the moment. So when we go back to that, look out for a combination of zombies from I think they're from the Prizer range, as is Sexy Santa's helper. But yeah, Pico products, they are still in production. They are doing all that they can to make them in a safe and socially distanced manner. Unfortunately, this does mean that quantities are down. I did talk with Hattons some time ago about this when people were saying, have they stopped making Pico? No, they haven't. But what Hattons have said is that really it's literally a case of they're selling it faster than it's coming in. So the only way to guarantee getting Pico track is you've simply got to order it and wait for it to come into stock. And then, yeah, and then basically you're in the queue then. If you wait for it to be in stock, you're always going to be at the back of the queue and not get any. So really, in all honesty, you've got to pick a retailer and order the Pico products and just wait for them to come in. Now, they are coming in, but huge demand coupled with shortness of supply. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. However, do keep an open mind to other products that might be coming on the market.
James Hardy says, "Boo diesels. Diesels are all right, aren't they?"
Diesels are cool. No, we've got a B12 knocking about, going round. There is also.
James Hardy also says, "Is your black B12 running?"
It is actually, yes. So it'll be.
You should run after it then.
So you'll be seeing it now coming into shot there with the rake of Pullmans, and of course also that Hornby 6-wheel 4-compartment first coach is bringing up the penultimate coach in that race. What have you done?
Nothing.
I thought you'd derailed.
Nothing.
Right, okay.
Certainly haven't knocked over one of your road signals.
Big hello to Anthony Dodds. Flint Hills Model Railway. Jeff Hammond had just got a Zemo decoder, 20. But yeah, Zemo, Lens. There are a lot of great makes, it has to be said. And people go, "Oh, you're sponsored by Train-O-Matic, so you're just going to push them." I thought, yeah, actually they are great products, but I don't live in a vacuum. I also like the yeah. Help! I'm in a vacuum. I can't.
Actually, you wouldn't be saying, "Oh, when you come to."
I become.
Sam can't travel in a vacuum. I'd actually get some peace and quiet. Go and live in a vacuum.
Yeah. Stop it. But but yeah, I use a lot of Zen Black decoders from DCC Concepts. We're going to be reviewing actually the Rails Connect range later on this month. So yeah, there are a lot of good products on the market. One thing that I would say, steer clear of like the plague. Do not buy lace decoders because they use pirated designs. So if you talk to a lot of people in the trade, they'll tell you that they've basically had their designs ripped off by them. What's wrong?
Mark Holtz just asks, "Did anyone get the Beatles set? His dealer had to return the entire stock because it was smashed to pieces."
I did not know that. That's a shame.
Oh my goodness.
So does that mean what it's sort of been roughed up in transit?
Sounds like. And Garthian has already spotted the TARDIS.
Oh dear, Cardis in the Carwoods wagon. Yeah, well you'll have to fish that out when it comes back round. So I'm going to change camera angles if you want to go fishing. Don't derail it.
What's that? Derail it? Okay.
Hello to Creeping Jane, Andrew Murphy as well. Trying to solve my layout issue at the moment. Oh, that's it. For me, it's always stuff like wiring. The mystery electrical fault. You think it worked yesterday. What's changed?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
I've had so many issues with Java CPC for my live game programming. So now I can't program live online because it just won't load. The day before was fine. I haven't updated anything, haven't changed anything. Just closed the computer down, loaded it up again for the next day, and it didn't work.
James Hardy says diesels just look like a box. Oh, I'm sorry. Exhibit A will be hoving into view on the top track on this camera angle soon, which is a Hellion Class 07 shunter, and it's got real character to it. So we're now all just sort of waiting for it to be. Stop it! Don't get that stuck in my head. But yeah, just hoving into view, you'll see the Hellion Class 07. And actually, there's a lot of character to some of these, certainly the small shunter
locomotives. How does anyone look at that particular angle and not here? Well,
there's no windmills, so obviously they don't.
You should build that as a diorama.
It's already been done. The actual thing was a gauge 1
I
model.
realise that, but I'd like you to build it as a diorama, just so I can put that sound on.
Right, let's have a look. Andrew Murphy says, my table is too short for the layout I want to build.
Isn't that always the case?
It's always the case. No matter how much space you have, you need just a little bit more. The only thing I will say is, if you can extend the table, that's always a good move. And that's possibly a way to go. If you can't extend, then I'm afraid you're going to have to make a compromise. Do consider things like K turnouts, which are where you've got a point and then you've got another point the other way, but then the two sidings cross each other. So imagine it as being half of a scissors crossover, and you can do things like that to shorten your track plan. Again, scissor crossings, they're really good for saving space. So you can fiddle your track work a little bit to kind of get what you want in a slightly smaller space. But yeah, I know it's infuriating when you don't quite have the space that you really wanted. I know I've had that up here. And you end up, you're having to make a compromise and think, I'd really like X, Y, and Z feature, but there's no room for it.
Creeping Jane says, Jenny, I've recently seen your cake video. Maybe some TT would have gone on the top?
Oh, the one I did for Hornby.
Yeah, you put a cake on the top. That's
we put a cake on the top. I don't have any TT. The Triang TT. It was sort of an experiment that didn't quite work. The trouble with TT was it kind of got overtaken by N-Gauge. So it ended up being a scale that didn't quite gel with the public because 00 was very well established. And then when N-Gauge came along at 2mm to the foot, TT of course being 3mm to the foot and 00 being 4mm to the foot, it kind of squeezed it out. It didn't give enough of an advantage over 00 to be worthwhile when you thought you could go N-Gauge and get a lot more in the space.
Ron B says, I have an apartment on the 11th floor and I would like to extend my garden layout.
Stilts. That's how you do it. Stilts.
Some kind of harness system so that you could hang it out the window.
Russell Benton says, what's the KR announcement? Something weird, no doubt. I believe that was Bellerophon, wasn't it? The 060XNCB
How are you pronouncing that?
Bellerophon.
Is it not Bellerophon?
I don't know. Is this where we're going to have the argument like we did with Persephone and Persephone?
Ring, 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 Persephone.
Yeah, there's somebody on the phone for you. The Persephone. I believe you'll find it's pronounced Persephone.
I'm pretty sure it's Bellerophon because it's Greek, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. I can't remember. What is it, like a goddess or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that was the announcement, and certainly if they make that to a really high standard, I think we're going to have on our hands something along the lines of the BT Well tank, which made Model of the Year in 2011. I can see Bellerophon, or Bellerophon.
Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Bellerophon?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you pronounce Bellerophon. Check it out.
Bellerophon.
Hey Siri, thanks.
So Siri answered the question there with Bellerophon.
She didn't understand what I was saying.
Well, how did she spell it?
Panerophone.
Oh, right, okay, right. Well, you're right.
At least it's not banana phone.
Ron B says TT's 1 to 120. Yeah. Although Andy 1962 says TT gauge is strong in Eastern Europe. Yeah, it just didn't really take off in the UK. I think part of the problem was that it was basically you had to buy everything from Triang. No other manufacturers waded in. And it's not been until much, much later that Pico started making a range of 3mm track. Map of the Dragon Railway suggests, though, all of a sudden your layout will fall and you will see some troublesome youths sawing the stilts. Dave Norris says, to extend Flats Garden Railway, you need a drawbridge. Jay says, every time I hear the name Persephone, I think of Monica Bellucci. Is that Bellucci? Tim's Trains videos, Pico makes...
Oh my goodness.
Tim's Trains video says, Pico makes some TT gauge trains. I think it's a good scale, but never taken off here. Yeah, a bit...
I think we're back. Yeah, it looks like we're back.
Right, okay. I think we're back up. Well, for some reason the chat's gone complete. Right,
it's back.
It's working. It's right. Yeah, we're back. We think that OBS crashed. So did you have to completely reboot OBS there?
No, I just closed it and forced it to reopen.
So, unfortunately, we're down to 190 people in the stream. So don't forget to like, share. And share on social media if you wish to. It's really, really helpful, and let everybody know that we are back. So we had just over 400 people on as well. It was a great turnout. So really sorry about that. Big technical difficulties.
Yeah. Everyone's saying I sneezed so hard you fell off the internet.
You sneezed me off the internet. That sounds about right for you, doesn't it?
Wasn't that bad? I can't help it that my.
It's when you sneeze out of both ends, that's when I get worried. Right.
Garfield says TARDIS in the open steel mineral wagon in the yard. My comment went through when the stream froze. Okay, so it's the TARDIS spotters. They all flooded it, and that's
so.
what did it.
And actually, I don't know how long we were offline for, because I was
Could have been a minute
I was
or so.
reading this comment actually from Ben Davis. I really like 60039 20-ton NCB XLMS brake van Era 6. And our 60026 7-plank wagon Lowen Warwick Era 2. And I was saying, yes, that NCB brake van is one that I really, really want myself as well. And I was I was waxing lyrical about all of the NCB liveried locomotives that we've had. I've got a review coming out actually on one of the Hatton's originals, Andrew Barclay's. They've got them on offer at the moment for, I think it's £84. And they've got at least 2 in NCB livery. They've got the Ayrshire area number 10 in the lined black, which really does look great. At what?
The chat's numbers and the amount of people who appeared to be in the room went down because some of us just got kicked when the stream went off. That's why.
Right, so some kind of technical difficulty going on, but I noticed that the numbers coming in is building
It's
back
up to 400 now.
If you found that suddenly you got booted from the chat, it wasn't us. We had some technical difficulty. So welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that.
We didn't do it.
Completely outside of our control, but hopefully everything's going to be all right. I think part of the problem is that everybody in the country is stuck at home doing things on the internet. So I've read somewhere that internet traffic has increased by something like 300% or something.
And this is why I'm forever going to be proven right about what I said about getting free broadband, regardless of your politics. If everyone's online, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Andy 1962 said, note to Cupboard Monkey, the live chat did keep scrolling when the screen froze.
So, because I was checking for trolls, I may have not noticed that it went off.
Yeah, easily done. All right, Ben Davis asks, hi, Jennifer, will we be getting an Oxford Rail 2021 announcement? As we got one last year on the 21st of January, will we get them around the 19th to 20th of January this year? The short answer is no. The long answer is that there is going to be an Oxford Rail announcement. They normally do it at the London Toy Fair, which of course, because of COVID, is not going ahead. So I did speak to Scott at Oxford Rail, and he said, yes, there will be an announcement. It's just simply a case of they don't have a date yet, but there is a lineup of models. Again, like so many other people, they're all working from home as well. So when they know, they will tell me, and I will tell you guys. But at the moment, don't put the date in your diary because there's nothing happening at that point. And what you may find is that they leave it later this year, because I think they like to do the announcements at physical shows like the London Toy Fair. So what they might do is wait until later in the year, which won't affect the delivery of the products. What it will actually just mean is that you have less of a waiting time between product announcing and being in the shops. So it's all good. But that's where we're up to on the Oxford Rail announcements. David J says, just caught your comment about Dapol. Are they shipping anything out to the shops? I'm waiting on a pannier tank. I would expect that it's possible that if they have the stock in stock, then conceivably that may still be happening. I will chase that up. I will speak to Neil at Dapol and just ask him whether this affects deliveries going out to shops. My gut feeling is possibly not, but don't quote me on that. But I will try and get a response from Dapol.
I've just realised how they could do their announcements for Oxford Rail. I just have this vision in my head now of one night you're talking in the chat and you just disappear into a trapdoor, and then Oxford Rail rise out of the floor. It's like, and here's our new stuff.
I did toy with offering them the chance to release their full range live on the Monday Club. But I thought that's probably a bit arrogant of me to go, well, I'm so important that everybody will just watch it. So I didn't. I thought, no, that might be construed as being like...
Being a bit big-headed.
Yeah, it's like, you've got an awfully high opinion of yourself.
I still like my idea, though, of just dropping you through a trapdoor and then launching in as if they've taken over the place.
Mark Wilson says Les is under the baseboard pulling wires. That's probably why we went off. It's like, Jenny, I want to be on the... Oh, it just fell apart in my hands.
Les, how did you get in here? I live here.
Yeah, down, Les. Yeah, everybody remembers it was actually when we were doing the prep work for GMRC.
And you couldn't tell anyone what you was doing.
We weren't allowed to tell you guys what we were doing, but Les just kept popping into the Monday Club, sticking his head round the door. And it's like we were joking, he was down in the modelling dungeon.
Yeah.
Wangok says they should be watching you, Jenny. In fact, actually, reach down there, you'll see a locomotive in an Oxford Rail box.
I do.
Yeah, could you pass it over?
I could.
So I do know they do watch, actually. Not necessarily live. So if you go, Oxford Rail, are you there? Then you're not going to get a response. Would you pass it over, please?
Oh, would I? Yes, I could.
Just do it. Just do it. Does anyone have to live with?
You don't have to, you get to.
Oh, right, I'll remember that. Oh, wait, no, just don't play with that. I bought that, it's expensive. So there will be some Oxford Rail reviews coming to the channel. I've already filmed the tank wagon review, which was with the I got the Fison's sulfuric acid, but this is
Henry's Transport says no. Henry's Transport, no, he didn't pass away.
Who didn't?
Les. He's just not here because he can't be for COVID reasons.
No, Les is alive and well. He's actually moving house as well, which is probably quite stressful for doing that during COVID times.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not been easy for him.
So this is actually on the to review list. I did buy this, and the reason I'm putting this on the track is I couldn't believe the price, the very bargain price for a full. And I think it's either ESU or is it? Yes, ESU sound fitted. It's the Oxford Rail N7. If you haven't got one of these, actually, I know I wasn't enamoured due to quality control when they first came out. That has been resolved. But this, I have to say, straight out of the box, has been absolutely faultless. So I've yet to film the review, but.
Speaking of trains, James Hardy asks, are you getting the hush hush?
Yes.
Whether you're getting it is very hush hush, isn't it?
I am getting a hush hush. I've got one on order. It's just a case of waiting for it. Oh. Dirty track.
Did you break it? Did you break your choo-choo?
I think the track needs a clean hit. It's the
Why
normal.
don't you push it past that bit then?
I think the problem is that
John Wayman says, Zoe, please focus. I wish I could. I really wish I could. For some reason, this one won't focus.
What won't?
The camera that we're focused on here, it just won't focus, and it's very annoying.
So is that all out of focus? It's very hard to see on that. No,
Yeah.
don't mess about because you'll break the...
I'm not going to mess about. I'm just checking quickly whether I can do anything with the camera.
Is it got dirt on the lens, maybe? Like a fingerprint that it can't...
Can I configure the video while we're on?
Oh.
Oh, yes, I can. I can sort the...
Sort what out?
I can focus the video.
Okay. How?
Right, let me just deal with this. You keep going, you keep
Yeah,
going.
oh sorry, this is intriguing tech stuff. So, whilst the technical monkey is up and running, so that is the Oxford Rail N7. That is going to be coming in a few weeks' time, actually. We're starting to get swamped with stuff I need to review. But we filmed the Fison's tank wagon review. We've also filmed an Andrew Barclay shunter from Hatton's Originals review. Filmed the Hornby 6-wheel coach review. Again, you'll be seeing that trundling around. Given that everybody found that one annoying, is it bad if I now change to a different one?
Well, I'll have to cancel everything I was doing.
Oh, sorry. I'll put it back. There we are.
No.
Sorry, did I break it?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
But so Patrick Furlong says, I'm watching you and doing work for my church group at the same time, both of which involve being online and making phone calls. Wait, is he calling us as well? But yeah, great work. I know there's a lot of people working from home at the moment. And one of the things that's really impressive, have you broken it completely?
Yes,
down?
you have.
Did you find a way of focusing
No.
it? No.
Give me a minute, I'm trying to sort this out.
This is just mesmerising.
Yeah, I'm trying to do stuff live, and Jen has decided that the best thing to do is just look at what I'm doing.
Just stare.
And stare.
The computer
and stare,
monitor
and stare.
is over there in case people wonder why I look to the side. Right. Fly Mode Chairman 1 is having to pop off. Good night to you. Take care, and hopefully see you later. I think actually no, I'm well behind here on the
this
comment.
doesn't want to sort out. I'll have to sort it out offline.
Yeah, and maybe it'd be a case of plug it back in, or unplug it and plug it back in or something.
Yeah.
So we'll just move to a different angle. Really sorry about that. Are they all out of focus, or are
No,
they...
just that one. I don't know what happened with that one.
Well, what we'll have to do is actually just clean the lens or something, maybe. Madden Steam Railway says, I haven't seen so many names on your live chat room. It's great to see how popular you are. Oh, thank you very much. I think as well, it's one of the things we've always said, it's really important during lockdown to have this sort of social interaction. We can't do it physically, so we've got to do it virtually. And I said from the outset that we were going to be here, come rain or shine, every single Monday.
Absolutely.
Because people need that kind of human interaction. As I said, there's a lot of people having to self-isolate for a variety of reasons. You might be living alone, so you don't necessarily have that human interaction that we all need. So it's a great way of kind of a surrogate interaction. And I always say everybody is always welcome. It's just a place you can come, hang out, chat to like-minded people, and just, you know, be immersed in this model trains environment.
Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond says, what do you use to make thumbnails? Photoshop. We photograph with as high a definition camera as we can, and then I edit that image into a thumbnail that I've got a template for in Photoshop.
Gronkston Model Railway suggests Zoe get some Logitech Brio webcams, much better than what you were already using. Our webcams, actually, they're the Logitech C270s, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not the highest definition webcams that you can get for a reason. We can't broadcast in the highest definition that we possibly can because we would not be able to. The biggest issue we have is a bottleneck on the bandwidth.
Yeah,
we have a 70 megabit per second cable connection, and we're not getting that. It seems to get throttled by the fact that so many other people are on the same line.
And that's the thing, you may have heard of contention rate, and that's effectively what it is that you're sharing that 70 megabit with up to like 50 other people.
When it's supposed to be getting up to that much, we should be able to get that, but we don't because so many other people have got the same thing, and everyone's at home.
T-Bone says, stare and judge. Consider yourself judged. I nearly went into a Judge Dredd impression.
10 years in the cubes.
Yeah. James Hardy asks, what hush hush are you getting?
Oh, it's very hush hush.
You know, I can't actually remember it. I know that it's the original boilered version rather than the one that's rebuilt to look a lot like an A4. And it's in grey. That's all I can tell you. I can't actually remember which one I ordered. Crossways Point Junction says it's pouring with rain here, so I wouldn't want to go out. It's doing the same here as well. Freezing cold rain. Excuse me. The Unfamiliar Terrier 48. Isn't that Leadenhall? I have a feeling that Terrier number 48 is Leadenhall. What was my luck? I thought Hornby would remake the E2, and guess what happened? You got the old Thomas moulding reappear as a pseudo E2. Is it an E2? I think it's an E2. In a sort of like a railroady Southeastern and Chatham Railway livery.
Ben Tullett says, can anyone lend me 1.2 grand? There's a very nice corporate built layout on eBay. Good luck.
Richard Bazina says N7 for £114.95. Yeah, well, actually, the non-sound fitted versions I've seen down to about £85. And I know people making a big thing about Hornby 00 all die-cast. That's what this is. This is all die-cast. There's a hell of a weight to that, and it's because it features a lot of die-cast parts. It's a really great model, and for the price, I'll be honest with you, when we do the review, we'll put up an affiliate link, because I know quite a few places have still got stocks of these and the non-sound versions. And they are fabulous value for money. And in this day and age, once they're gone, they're gone.
We've got a question here saying, well, not a question, a statement saying that apparently the C270 can't be focused unless you open it up and twist the lens. So
what's caused it to...
it may have got knocked. So what I'm suggesting is we may be able to sort it out with a pair of spectacles. So just have a watch of that and see what happens if I put my gigs in front of the
I think it's
camera.
probably just got dirt on the lens.
Does it look better?
Move... yes, and now. If you move it further away... I don't know, it's hard to tell. I think we might be able to, if you get a tissue and just give the lens a wipe over or something. I'll put it on a different camera because otherwise it'll...
Yeah.
But it could just be condensation.
It actually made no difference.
Did it?
It was worth a try.
Dave Norris says, it's a wonder I can watch you at all. My wife is running her Cub Pact Zoom meeting. And of course, yeah, there's a lot of other organisations as well have had to turn to online. The Unfamiliar Terrier 48 says, like the stream. Thank you very much. Yes, everybody like the stream. And don't forget to consider sharing us on social media as well. Andrew Murphy says, I am living alone. It sucks not having anybody around. It messes with my head since COVID be going on. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. In fact, I was just watching an episode of Mythbusters earlier today, and they were talking about cabin fever, and it is a real thing.
Yes.
James Hardy says, even Percy returned in blue. Very much, yes. Mark Wilson says a Curascale 37 actually has more detail than the real thing. I've seen a few people say that as well. Richard Bazzina says Oxford diecast. Right. The Unfamiliar Terrier 48 says, what's your opinion on the silver hush hush? I thought it was grey. Why have we lost a camera?
Oh my goodness.
Have we... Oh, there we've got that one. Why is that one... So sorry about this, people. I think we've... Interesting. I don't know what's going on. Matt Ovell says focus can be fixed with a precision hammer.
I'm not hitting it with a hammer.
Percussive maintenance, I believe you'll find engineers call it. So Andy 1962, Hornby no folks will buy TTS Deltic to remove sound for use in Bachmann models. Yes, probably more money for Hornby than if it sell TTS chip. Yeah, and I suppose it's making good use of the Class 55 railroad tooling. It's probably one of the last outings that tooling might get, I suspect. It is getting on a bit. And it does mean... I know, I was talking to somebody about this, and they said, oh, you know, they're going head-to-head with a Curascale. And I said, no, they're not. You know, the kind of person who will buy the Hornby Class 55 is not in the market for the Curascale one, and vice versa. Somebody who was going to buy an Curascale 55 will not be satisfied with a Hornby Railroad one. They're aimed at completely different sectors of the market, and I think they're a great idea. I've actually asked Hornby if it'd be possible to review one, because I think it's a great way of keeping the hobby accessible to people on a much more restricted budget. So, what are you filming?
Hi.
Okay. So I think that it's going to be good. More money to Hornby than if they sell the TTS chips on their own. They did this with the Class 47, then 3 years later released it. Yeah, and actually the TTS chip that I'm surprised hasn't made a reappearance is the Class 56 one, and it wasn't actually a TTS chip, it has to be said. They were sourced from a third party, and I did actually talk to Simon about this. One of the reasons that they brought in their own TTS range was due to difficulties sourcing the decoders from a third party. And he just said, well, you know, in this day and age, is it not beyond our wit and control to actually just be able to make our own? And that's how the TTS range came about. And I think it's great. It makes sound on DCC accessible to the masses. And I know some people poo-poo the sound quality, but actually, you know, if you're on a tight budget but you still want to get sound in your locomotives, That is a great way of doing it. I am a big fan of TTS.
How did you not respond to me sticking a camera in your face then?
Because I'm a professional.
You're a prof something or other.
I'm not a professor, I'm a professional.
You're a pro something.
SJ Carter says, I'm usually strictly N-gauge, but I couldn't resist a Hornby Packet, so I've ordered. Any tips on a DCC chip? Now, the Hornby Packet natively supports Hornby's own 4-pin decoder. It's an okay decoder. I've used them for hard wiring things in the past as well, because they're actually quite small and convenient for doing that. So you can pick them up quite cheaply. They're about £12 to £14 if you shop around for the Hornby own brand 4-pin decoder, and it's just a simple plug-in fit. There's no messing around. Now you can hardwire other chips in there, but do bear in mind that it is very limited on space.
Got an interesting question here from Ron B. Jenny, can you change the chuff rate of a TTS decoder?
I don't know. I know on the ESU ones you can. It's in the CV settings. I've never looked into on a TTS decoder whether you can do the same. So I think you'd have to really just possibly try it and see. You'd have to work out which CV controls that. I can't see why you couldn't change it. But you'd have to look up the specs on the chip is all I'll say on that.
Most people in the chat are agreeing that you can't.
Right, okay, I know there's some things you can't do with the TTS chip. Effectively, there's a reason you're getting them for like 35 quid and not £135 that some of the other ones cost. It is made down to a price. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean that there's certain things you can't do with them. So, for example, they won't run on DC with the sound.
Yeah, they've taken out certain things to keep the cost down.
Gronkston Model Railway says here, TARDIS committing trespass.
Yeah, it was on one of the tracks.
Oh, was it? Oh, did it get hit?
No, it was just one of those tracks that you went.
Oh, right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's incredible.
Thank you so much, Ismazix.
Is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know. ISMZX? I don't know.
ISMZX has very kindly donated £5 on the super chat and says Happy New Year. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you. Ron B says the sound is really okay.
Yeah.
SJ Carter. Right. The Centenary Edition puck. Actually, that is one I quite like the idea of. That grey. It looks really good. A lot of people are saying that TTS chips are good, but the speakers need upgrading. I would agree with that in a lot of instances. Not everyone. The Class 20, the speaker that comes with that, I've had great results from that speaker. But I would agree that a lot of the others leave a lot to be desired. So, for example, I really need to... In fact, maybe that's something I'll do tonight. I've got a Class 37. It's a Bachmann 37, but it's got a Hornby TTS sound chip in, and it sounds rubbish. And I think what I need to do is replace the speaker. It's not the decoder that's at fault, it's just the sound quality from that speaker is woeful. So maybe that's a little project I need to do tonight. I've got a Class 20 the same, and I know that the Class 20 sounds amazing because I've got one which is fitted with a big speaker and it sounds amazing, but I've got another one that sounds absolutely garbage. And it's been fitted with a pair of cheap iPhone speakers, and I think that there's some kind of an issue in the setup which is causing a horrible sound from that.
We've got a very interesting question that's surely going to cause some debate from Mark Holt. I have a serious question, he says. I'm now at the retirement stage of life and I want to move somewhere that I can have a railway run. Which areas of the UK have housing in nice areas that is affordable?
There's parts of Scotland, if you want really affordable.
A lot of the north of England.
Yeah, north of England's nice. Bear in mind there are some places where it's still very expensive in the north.
Like Durham.
North Wales as well is a lovely place.
North Wales is absolutely gorgeous. Durham would be very expensive, so I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, Durham is priced similar to London.
Yeah, it's weird.
Now, Roof Railways, yes, we will be doing some videos later on. We normally start about 8:30, so we will be working through them then.
Yeah, and you didn't need to send 5 different messages to us, though.
What emails?
No, you just
Yeah.
just sent boof, 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 boof thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I always say is that if I don't read out your comment or your question, I'm not ignoring you. It's just, as you've seen, the chat comes in so quickly that it's very easy to miss. But don't just sort of like, again. Leave it a little bit of time before you ask again. Otherwise, it just it kind of compounds the problem because everybody's questions disappear so fast.
Yeah.
But big hello to Liam at New Mills Model Railway. Walsall in the West Midlands is quite affordable, reasonably nice area. I suppose you might be biased what with living here in the same house for 29 years. Actually, some of the Black Country as well, places around Dudley. And that kind of area, really nice. So
There's
yeah,
a fair amount around Birmingham was actually quite nice.
yeah, that's where Walsall is.
Is it?
Yeah, and Dudley. It's the
That would explain something. One of my friends is from round there, and he has an accent, and I couldn't quite place it, but that now explains things.
what, the Dudley accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lenny Henry. That's where Lenny Henry's from.
Does Lenny Henry have an accent?
A little bit, but when he puts it on, he's like really broad brummy.
Yeah, Leslie Gilpin says this is exactly it. Durham, like Bristol, has the university effect on house prices. It really does. It's ridiculous. Where's our screen gone? What have you done?
Oh, sorry, I've picked. Camera 2 is not working for some strange reason.
Now we've got a very strong statement here from Liam at New Mills. Walsall is not in Birmingham. We're in the Black Country just on the border. Have you broken it, Jen?
What have you done? For some reason,
I
we've
have
lost
done
another.
nothing. What have you done?
We've lost another camera.
Is that the only camera we've got now?
No, we can have the one that's out of focus and annoyed people.
So we have.
Oh,
two
that's interesting. Right, when I first went to it, it was in focus, and then it just went out of focus.
Yeah, this is what I mean. There's something wrong. We'll have to sort it out.
I wonder if it's defective. Let me just come here. We can. Let's give its lens a clean. Ah, oh, did you hear that?
I did.
Right,
What have you done?
I'm going to go round and give it
Ow.
well, let's just give you a quick.
Oh, this is great for the
Yeah.
live stream. My goodness, Jen. Now you've got an earthquake.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to anybody who's watching who's going like, what the hell just happened?
Now it's too high up, but now you can see the top of the.
Oh. Right. I wonder if we can force it to focus by holding something very close to it.
Oh my goodness, Jen. Now all we've got is an earthquake. You're not getting it to focus.
Is it not focused?
No.
Do you think the camera's actually just failed?
Why don't you stick your face into the thing? Just lean in so that you're on the screen.
And then,
Seriously, it might detect a face. So if
apparently, I've got to put my face in it. Can we not put your face on a
No,
stick?
I don't want to. Okay, lean in. Hello.
Am
Yes, I think it's focused on you.
Has it?
No. Come in a bit further.
It's very
Climb onto your railway.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it focused?
It's focused on your teeth. It has actually focused on you. That's interesting.
What about if I come back here and then come in? Am I in?
You're in, but it's not focusing on you.
Yeah. I think
I don't think it's done anything for it, actually.
what we should do.
Everyone's now saying, hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, what I might do is swap out that camera with.
It is definitely focused on you. I'm looking at on the stream. It's focused a little bit on you, but not really all that well. We're going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, at the end of the stream, what we'll do is perhaps swap them around a little bit.
Someone's just come in while your face was in the screen. Like,
So what the
"Hi,
heck have
sorry
I?
I'm late." It's like, whoa!
Yeah, what did I miss? What happened? What freaky, bizarro world have I
Ryan
jumped
Stone says, so is this comedy night? No, that's coming back on Sundays.
to? Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're going to go now, since it's not focusing properly. Shall we start on the video?
Yeah, because we've got a few left over from last week, and I must admit, I am flagging. I am quite ill at the moment. No, it's not COVID, but
No, you just
I
got the
am
sniffles
quite.
that I had last week.
Yeah. So I'm not feeling very, very well. So I know a few people have been asking after it. We're going to go to the videos early, and then possibly pick up at the end with some more comments. So to send in your videos, we've already got a good crop, so it'll probably now be sending in for next week.
Yes, we have 14.
Wow, so let's kick off then. You need to send them to zoe@zoerobinson.com, and you need to send the URL. Don't send the actual video because it won't work, but send the URL through. And it's very very if you put in the subject line Monday Club, isn't it? So then you can find it very readily.
It does help, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
we've had one from Roof Railways who has sent it as an attachment with no bytes. So
Roof
something went wrong
Railways.
with that one.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Roof Railways. You're going to have to send it as an attachment.
No, as a link, not as
No,
an attachment.
that's what I meant. Yeah, sorry, just Freudian
So-
slip. Send it as a link. Unfortunately, we cannot play attachments.
Not just that, I couldn't even if I wanted to try, for a simple reason that it had 0 bytes. Something had gone wrong with the upload.
Right. So at the moment, the Cupboard Monkey is just sorting that out. So let's have a look at some.
Our
of the
first one will actually be a set of photos rather than images, because this will be interesting.
Yeah.
And there's still no Y in Zoe.
Skip says wife just got over a cold. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's easy to forget this year that there are other illnesses are available.
Yeah.
Mark Holt says only one dislike, Evening Dave. And James Petts, hello to you. Ken Smith, hi to you. Oops. Combat Bunny. Oh, great to see you. I must have missed you in the chat. Sorry I hadn't said anything.
No, he's just come in. He came in while you were going into
right.
the video.
So it's great to see you, Combat Bunny. He says, remember to tickle the like button. And also don't forget that my books are still available. If you want a lovely, luscious sci-fi read, then you can pick them up from oldmousemedia.com. But also we've got the comic collections as well. And if you leave a message, then we should be able to get them signed for you as well, if you want a personally signed book from Jenny Kirk.
Okay, these are, if you want to jump to the, to the screen, these are from Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond. And they're a series of just photographs, some of which
Did we show these
real.
last week?
No. Some of which I think are real and some aren't. That's a very nice one. I think is real.
Right. So that's up on screen at the moment. You know the way you've done it. Everybody can see my browser and all my bookmarks and stuff. Yeah. It's a good job I don't have like naughty sites bookmarked there.
No, you don't have naughty sites bookmarked. You have them memorized. Now here's an interesting one.
Oh, that is actually a really good angle.
Yeah, I like the different levels there. It looks like it goes far, far back, which is really nice.
It does actually. You've got like a proper cityscape. Really good. And that a lovely low down shot.
The angle kind of threw me. I couldn't for a second there tell.
It looks quite icy, doesn't it? It almost looks like water.
Yeah.
Like that's a pond or something.
Yeah. Where is this?
Is this was it Stranraer or Wick or Thurso?
Right. Yeah.
Looks lovely.
It really does.
Then I love the canal scene there in the background with the canal
look
bug.
what's through the tunnel.
Oh.
You can see so far back.
It's got like the tunnel is modelled, but with an end of the tunnel modelled. That actually works really well.
Yeah.
I've not really seen that done before, but that works really well.
It really does. That looks great.
What's that big yellow thing? It looks like a dinosaur.
I think it is. Is
Everybody,
that from the family nest?
Could be. Everybody get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
That is cool. So that's the final one. So that was very nice.
Thank you very much for those. So we're going to go back to. Unfortunately, the camera is out of focus. So sorry about that.
And we says it is ice, and everyone else is saying it's wick. Everyone, in fact, is going wick, 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 wick.
Yes. So hey, no, didn't I say it was either Stranraer, Thurso, or Wick? So I did guess correctly, even though I took 3 guesses to get there. It looks lovely. Right. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase. Hi to you. Yeah, everybody's saying Wick. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says dinosaur on a canal boat. Madden Steam Railways. The seaside area looks very much like the Port of Leith in Edinburgh. Richard Swiderski as well says nice pictures. Oh,
I thought Edinburgh as well.
So what have we got next?
So next up we have I'm trying to get from Logan Clary. It's Happy New Year.
Right, are we ready to go? I'm going to press the button. So if you want to press play. So it's class 128, class 31. Oh gosh, these blinking you'll miss it. I like the weathered van. That works really well. Nice class 37. Making good use of the natural light as well. Although beware on things like card buildings, they can fade in sunlight. There's a nice loco collection there. 37s, 31s, 47 I see as well. Oh, Daleks! Exterminate! Exterminate! Oh! Oh!
Oh.
Yeah. Doctor, the chameleon circuit's gone funny again.
Dr. Hamster.
Yeah. Oh, that's the. Is that the special edition that Bachman did? They did that with a. I think it was a J72 is one of the special wooden boxed sets. Evening to you, Model Railways Unlimited. Logan Clary just say, yeah, it has faded. Stephen Cameron says Wick train shed has a square opening, but Thurso is arched. Aha, so that's
there was a gronk.
Ooh.
We had a nice gronk.
Always interesting to see.
Hot train on train action there.
Yeah, stop it. It's like Hello Kitty Dalek.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Dalek in the garden. Actually, that works really well. That looks like it could be straight out of a Doctor Who episode from the 60s. All right, class 57 DRS, the old body snatchers, and at 37 on 30. Oh yes, 37 on cake action. Always time for cake. Daleks. Yeah, but look at the cars in the background.
We are the Daleks.
Well, that's different. I've not seen that before with the sort of the infill in the track. That's different. Oh, Christmas themed. Oh yeah, but the VR double arrow. So right, I'm going to go back over to
2021 coming soon.
I nearly missed the end bit. I didn't realise there was more.
Yay! The Cyberman.
Yeah. Oh,
very nicely done.
Yeah. Oh, steamy.
Oh, it's hot.
Oh, that's pretty. Right. Anyway,
I recognise which episode that was from.
Hey.
I like it. Sondaha.
Right. Shall we move on to the next video?
Go on, then.
Right.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you very much, Logan.
We seem to have become very much the unofficial Doctor Who appreciation channel as well. It is really good. Mark Wilson says this video is slightly weird.
Yeah, but we kind of like it.
Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond says the arches at Wick have been removed. Oh no.
Who did that? Tell them
off. Mark Holt says, I would start watching again if Doctor Who was a hamster. I switched off the minute Peter started regenerating. Haven't watched a second since. Oh no.
There are some good episodes with the Jodie Whittaker Doctor. The biggest problem is the writer didn't really have a good handle on running the show and writing so many of the episodes.
Yeah,
it's actually quite a tough job to do both the showrunner and the main writer. They should still be two different roles. They used to be. Holmes and Hinchcliffe worked really well.
In my opinion, Doctor Who ended in 1989 at the very end of the episode Survival.
You're
with
on the
Sylvester
black
McCoy.
screen again.
Oh,
You've got to stick with the ones we know are good.
That did work. Now it's not working. We appear to have lost all of the cameras.
Okay, go to just Jenny then.
That's the only one we can get.
We've only got the roving cam now.
So actually, what I'm going to do is...
Jack, since we're on the videos, just switch between the videos and the roving cam. We'll sort it out afterwards.
Yeah, so we're having some technical difficulties up here for some reasons. And have you updated OBS or something? Did you?
I did not. I told it not to.
Yeah, well, I think it ignored you.
Yes.
No, I'll be better on it. Oh, no, I won't. Let me smear poo on you.
Go on, let me do it. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a short one here which I think you'll find quite interesting.
James Pett says it's an interesting view. Unfortunately, it's the only view that the cameras decided to work. We're having a few technical issues here. Monkey Plays 123 says the actor isn't the problem. It's Chris Chibnall that's the problem. Who is here?
Chris Chibnall. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall. He's a good writer. Some of the excellent episodes from Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi's era were written by Chris Chibnall. His problem is he's having to run the show, deal with what the BBC wants, and get all the scripts done at the same time. And it's too much for one person. There's very few people can do that.
Yeah, somebody said TARDIS behind wooden support. Have we got a TARDIS on screen at the moment? Where is the TARDIS?
It was behind the wooden support, yes, because it's not actually visible at the moment.
Is it not?
No.
All right. So sorry, the shot's a bit boring at the moment. We're just right. Are we ready for the next video?
Yes.
Right. I'm going to switch over.
I've got a message to go with this one, and this is modified clear story and coloured 60-inch running shots from Liz Kirk. Now
Clerestory. Yeah, they look nice. Oh,
now this used to be Wild Bank Colliery, so we have seen this in the past.
Right.
But it's changed the name to Liscarth.
Right.
And this is here's some clips.
Liscarth.
Liscarth. Oh, right, whatever.
Oh, I like the coaches.
It's a very, very nice layout. There's several angles where it looks real, and it's really nicely done. But he says, here's some clips highlighting work I've completed over Christmas on the Hornby history coaches that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
With close coupling KDs, corridor connectors, full lighting with all-wheel pickup, painted interiors and passengers.
They look amazing, actually. I like your ballasting as well. The ballasting's good.
He's gone all out to make this look really nice.
Well, that's an interesting look on the back scene, actually cutting it so that rather than being a flat line, it's contoured.
Actually, that's pretty good.
That does work.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. But I do like those clerestories. They're really, really nicely done. And that's 262 Prairie, and that's with the old Bachman collets. But again, they come out really, really well.
Simon's Train says, I remember this layout. I was impressed with it when it was on last time. Yeah, it's really good. Really, really nice. And I love the lighting. Oh my goodness.
So, of course, we're going to have the coach lights. Are they... Yeah, they're quite dim in those, but then again, you've got to remember that back in the day, they probably were quite dim. So we're waiting for the other train. Those...
They look great.
I'm really impressed by this. Really impressed. The lighting, and you can still see the coaches disappearing off into the distance. It really does work.
Yeah.
It's one thing, unfortunately, that we can't really do up here in Weir Yard. We don't have enough lighting stuff. I've not really gone into fitting coaches with lighting, but I think it is something which I might start looking into, because stuff like this really does impress me.
It shows you how much you can change it. We've got an interesting suggestion here from Flymer Chairman 1. Maybe link the Facebook poll with the videos sent in, like LNER, DMUs, Steam or Diesel. The variety of posted and played videos are what we choose for the following week's theme.
Could do, yeah. I know I have neglected the poll.
You've been naughty in that respect.
I've been a little bit ill, but also so busy. You can imagine running around with all of the... Because at the moment, I'm filming for a TV series. I can't give you any more details, so please don't ask, because I won't tell you.
She's on Crime Watch again. She's going to be a shelf.
I'm filming for a TV series. I am writing articles for magazines. I'm also obviously doing all the usual video content, but we've covered all of the Hornby 2021 releases. There's been a lot of video content surrounding that that'll be coming over the next week or so, doing interviews with people. So I've been so busy, but I think that can the admin start polls on the Facebook group?
The moderators certainly should be able to, yeah.
So there are other moderators on the Facebook group, so maybe...
Don't look at me when you say that.
So I know New Junction is actually a moderator on there. But maybe they could set up a poll if I forget. It should go up by tomorrow, but I invariably forget. Right, do you want to make that full screen?
Well, yes.
So this is Somerset Trucking and Transport.
with 2020 reviewed highlights.
Right, so if you make that full screen, and I'm going over to it now.
Bing.
Bing, bing, bing.
Ding
So,
dong.
right.
So here we are. That looks pretty real to me. My goodness, look at the detail.
Yeah. Mark Wilson says, what TV series? I can't tell you. All I will
Everyone's
say...
now saying, are you the new Doctor Who?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You're going to have to...
Not suitable for children under 13.
Oh, how come?
Sorry, we can't show anything like that.
Right, we've got to be careful.
I'm very sorry.
We haven't pre-watched any of these, so really sorry. It might just be a sort of a generic thing.
But we can't. We have to maintain that. Although the show isn't set for children, we can't show that because
I know that there are some that still do watch, and it's.
I'm really sorry.
It might be just a generic thing on there for some reason, but
it could be. But I can't take the
we've
risk.
got to be cautious. So sorry about that.
Really sorry.
We haven't previewed any of the videos. I have to say,
and sometimes that's going to happen. Very sorry.
But you've shared the link. If people want to watch that, that's fine.
Well, yeah.
Right. Somerset Trucking and Transport says it's to get around copper. So actually, I don't think there is anything in there. So should we put it back on?
I can't.
What?
Because he said it. I can't.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. It's just how it is.
Model Railways Unlimited says that will be the YouTube restriction. Anthony Lee Dickinson says, hi, crazy people. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Right.
Okay, this one is just a photo. It's from Andrew Page. And he says this is some ballasting he was doing while watching us last week.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
See, I find ballasting very therapeutic. I'm particularly impressed with the photographic back scene as well, actually. And the Christmas tree. Sorry, I'm just looking up there. Is that a leak? No, it's just something that's shiny.
Garthian has a question here. Is that a crack in your layout from the point to the junction signal, Jenny?
A crack? From the point to the junction signal. A crack?
Yeah.
I
do like that layout. Do you want to bring that up on the screen? We've had a nice look at this, and it's very good. I especially
okay,
like
if you want to make it on the screen, I want to see what he's.
Let's see what he's seeing.
From the point to the junction signal.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, right, yeah. What it is that's a very cruel
video,
angle. And I used the Gauge Master Noch, like static grass mats. And they do a really great one that has very long fibres, but that's the join between them. It's one of the earliest bits of scenery I did up here.
It really is.
And normally you can't see that, but that is a cruel angle that has been illuminated in such a way that it looks like a crack.
Yeah.
What I need to do is actually static grass over the top to hide that. So thank you for pointing it out. I will
now
sort
everyone's
that out.
gonna know.
The problem we've got is that if I go to the other cameras, none of them are working.
Is mountain camera working?
No. So I'm just... I don't know
We
why
are
it's...
having problems, aren't we?
I don't know why it's done this.
No.
So if I go to Jablite Mountain on its own, I can force that to come up. And then if I go to that, it will probably now not show me. Oh, no, there we are. So we've got Jablite Mountain back, so that's something. Right. Monkey Plays 123 says thank you. I've missed the comment there. Gwian Reese Davies says just add shrubs. Yeah, I will sort that out. It's because it's not normally visible. It's easy to overlook, I have to say.
Yeah, you just forget, don't you?
Let's have a look.
And now everyone's saying, "Oh, there's a TARDIS. TARDIS is behind the grassy knoll."
Oh yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Okay, we've got some more videos, of course.
Right.
So,
Map the Dragon Railway says I've pre-ordered the 94XX from Locomotion models 9400 in museum condition. I already have the Lima model of 9400, but I couldn't say no to a better detail one. Actually, that is one. I must admit that I'm tempted by the 94XX. I have to say. Yeah, Garthin says the TARDIS is just behind the grassy knoll, so obviously he is there to. To perpetrate some
naughty actions.
Yes, naughty action. Right.
Naughty actions.
Yeah, Hythe Ken, exactly. Isn't the grassy knoll where President Kennedy was assassinated? I do believe so. Garthian says, next Tuesday there is a new TV series on Yesterday about railway architecture. The channel Yesterday, which I didn't think it was a real channel, to be honest. It was quite embarrassing. Can't let anything slip. But
no, don't let anything slip because you'll get.
I think it's
off.
what used to be called UK TV history, isn't it? The UK TV, like there was UK TV Gold, which became Dave. There's UK TV history that became Yesterday, and there were others as well. Didn't there used to be like UK TV game show? Whatever happened to that?
I think that's Challenge now, isn't it?
That may well be Challenge.
I used to watch Challenge for reruns of Nightmare at about 11 or 12 o'clock at night.
I think we're getting the spinning circle.
No, we've got it for a reason. If you want to jump over to this, it's full screen now.
Yeah,
so if you want to jump in, this is Blair Gowrie's 3 years from 2019.
Okay. Oh, I love a pug. 11217. I've got that one, but I repainted it to 51217. So that's the Daypole pug. They're completely unchanged now. Actually, the Hornby ones now are exactly the same. I love a good garden railway. So we've got William. I'm looking at that. That's one of the older Hornby 3-plank wagons.
Yes, and Andrew sent a message with this. He says, I know you've seen more recent videos from the Garden Railway, but I would like to submit this from 2019 of a happier time before COVID.
Yeah. And I like the sepia tint. It actually works really well on photographs of model railways.
But it's got a brilliant line that I think really does exemplify why the YouTube and other video sharing like this has really helped the hobby. Because he says, it's only when I look back on some of these older videos that I realise how far I've come.
Yes.
And that's it. Even when you think you're not doing anything good or you haven't improved, actually you have.
Well, it's funny actually. My first exhibition layout, it still exists. It's down in a bedroom downstairs. And I must be honest and say, every time I look at that, I think, oh God, that's a bit crude. I can't believe I got that published in a magazine. Because railway modelling, like so many other things, is a skill that you improve on and develop over time. I like your woodworking skills there. I just spotted the work there. Oh, protective. Right. It's actually quite interesting. Because I had a lot of problem with wet rot on the layout, and I'm guessing that this has been your solution to that by effectively boxing it over. Your Model Railway Village series.
Wow.
Right, so you're going to have full scenery underneath the covers, which of course you can do because they're being protected from UV as much as anything else. That is actually quite an impressive.
Painted black to prevent light leakage. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's what they say you should do, especially with things like the resin buildings are a pain for glowing.
Oh yeah.
When you light them from the inside.
We've seen some of that, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, you're saying I've messed up some.
No, we've seen when you've shone lights through to show it off.
Yeah. There's some good model work here. Really good model work.
We've got Liv Gamble in the chat says, new to the channel, love the layout, Jenny.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice reinforcements.
Yeah, there's some really great construction shots here.
Yeah.
And that is nice. It's what I always say is that it's really great to see how people have made things.
Yes.
A lot of people take for granted it's like, oh yeah, no, anybody could do that. But a lot of people want to know how to do these things. So I think that was Flying Scotsman flying past with a rake of the teak coaches.
This is really good.
Yeah, I see. You've built your track bed wide enough for multiple tracks, so I'm guessing that there's scope for actually laying more track as and when you want to. There's some lovely weather there.
I do like the way he's got some of these angles as well. We've done stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, Garden Rail... Oh, right, yeah. We had a lot of problems with rot. Yeah, the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway. Oh my word, yeah. Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway livery ginties are great. I've got, I think it's either number 23 or number 24 from Bachman.
Water Road says, have I missed my video? No, you haven't.
No, you haven't, Water Road. Welcome along.
You're in the list.
You're in the zone, so we're a few minutes away from it.
Oh,
I like this.
Like an open cab with all the detail.
Yeah, and that really is nice. And some of the more recent models, as you may have seen in some of my reviews, you can read the dials.
Yeah.
It is a lovely model, actually. That is one that I do want to add to my collection.
Here's a question. How long before the high-end locomotives start actually having moving dials? Just as a little extra bit of detail.
I think that might be detail too far, but the DeWitt Clinton by Bachman, really interested at this. This was Bachman's stab at like early oldie worldy stuff.
Wow.
And it's a lovely set. I've seen it advertised. I've never seen one in the flesh. But this shows the Bachman take on Era 1. And it's a shame really that they don't dabble in this. Yeah, it's the first locomotive to operate in the state of New York for the Mohawk and Hudson Railroad.
Wow, that is really nice.
You can occasionally find them second-hand, and they do look a great model, but I've never quite dared to pick one up yet.
Those carriages are fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that is a lovely garden. I'm looking at you've got a lot of space, a lot bigger garden than we've got, to be honest.
200 visitors came to see it. Wow.
Wow. Oh. Oh, right. This is great fun. I had till the train stopped running. Eventually I found out what the problem was, but then it was too late.
Wasn't that someone tried to film it and then everything went wrong?
Yeah, that's
what
the
we
usual
find.
reason, definitely. Dry solder joints was one of the reasons that we had problems with the Garden Railway and rot.
So much trouble.
I'm beginning to wonder. I think, was this rot? Left back. You haven't told us the reason it stopped running. With my Garden Railway, it was rot as much as anything. The track bed collapsed completely, and it turned out at the point that you see that it's all collapsing, it's too late. It's all rotten. So I had to reluctantly scrap it.
Unfortunately, that is one of the big issues with rotten wood. By the time you see it, it's gone through the middle.
Yeah, very much. Right, so shall we... Union Pacific number 6... Some of these
consolidation,
yeah, the American HO models are lovely, absolutely lovely. And in fact, we will be reviewing some of the American Limited models, I think they are, and the San Juan Model Company very kindly sending over some samples of their tank cars, which we will be reviewing on the channel probably around the end of this month, beginning of next month. So we will be reviewing some American outline stuff. That looks like a Hornby 00 A2 controller, if I'm not mistaken.
According to the text that you just missed, this is the first time this guy's actually run a train, and he seems to be very much enjoying it.
Yeah. There's some quality Hornby 00 going on there. I love Hornby 00. My eyes are trained to spot the red and white stripe and blue and white striped boxes of Hornby 00 from a mile away at swap meets and stuff. Right, I'm gonna.
Well, that's been
move us back
fun,
to. Yeah, it has. Really enjoyed that. So, what is the next video up on tonight's list? And remember, if you want to send a video, email the link to the video, not the actual video itself. So, just a URL link to somewhere like your YouTube channel, and then we can play it. We cannot play attachments sent to an email because they won't come through. So please don't send them as a file, as an email attachment, because it won't work and we won't be able to show them.
Yeah, we've shown it before. What happens? It just says can't download because it's too big.
This is Wardle Road, and I know that Wardle Road is having a giveaway competition, so I think we're going to get details of that. But
so I'm going to actually turn the sound on for this one.
Okay, well,
it might get a little loud, so I've turned it down a bit.
So
but this is a rocket with sound.
Okay, right. Well, it's come up. So I'm intrigued by this. So I'll shut up so that we can actually hear it. scenery is amazing, I have to say.
Here it comes again.
I've watched this development. If actually we turn the sound down so I can talk. Otherwise,
sure.
but
Garfian's asking if that's the a sound file for the rocket.
Wardle Road is in the chat, so I'll be able to answer you if he's seen your question. But I've watched as Ollie at Wardle Road has been building this area of his layout, and I'm really impressed. And I didn't realise he owned a rocket, not least a rocket that is sound fitted. But that's amazing. I followed with great interest Ollie's progress, and I'm really looking forward to the end of lockdown when we are allowed to go out and we've beaten this illness, because I do want to go and visit Ollie. He's come here a couple of times and great guest on the Monday Club.
Yeah.
And I'd love to reciprocate. And also, you know, I want to get a lot of guests back on to the Monday Club. It's something I've really missed during this lockdown, especially like Les. We've got to get Les back. Not least because he hasn't finished my back scene. But no, in all seriousness, I need to get Les back. Right, so
so this one,
Grongston Model
which
Railway,
was supposed to not start but did anyway.
Right.
It's Grongston Model Railway. Now he sent me a message saying that this is a link to a track weathering video that you asked about.
Right. So we show a little bit, but obviously because we're not playing the sound.
Well, yeah, it's a 20-minute video, so we're going to have a quick look at it. It's basically his way of weathering track. Now we've seen this layout before, and it looked very, very good, which is why I think you asked about it.
Yes. So it's using pico powders and hairspray as the fixative. So, right, I see. So you've got the clean ballast there on the left, and you started building up a layer of, looks like sort of like grime, which is the coal dust. That is actually really effective.
Yeah, it really is. Brake dust and rust. Oh, I like his editing work there.
Right.
Yeah. Ash dust. So he's got a mixture. And it's what you've been saying about some of the glass, isn't it? It's different
mixture of colours and
textures.
Textures is really important.
It's really working out for him.
And then I'm guessing you build up with the powders, brush them out, get them to like the what you want, and then you fix it in place with hairspray, cheap hairspray.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how I do. Well, I use a lot of the War World Scenics static grass layering spray.
So I'm going to jump this on a little bit. Let's have a look and see how he. Oh, there it is. That's how he's doing it.
Right.
So what we've got here.
And then it's just brushing it around. And of course, the ballast. Bearing in mind, the ballast is already fixed and glued.
Yeah.
And just so it's just
sprinkled on and then brushed in.
Yeah.
It's so effective.
Yeah. So you're mixing the two different colours in.
Yeah.
And of course, this is O gauge, just in case people are wondering about scale. But it's really, really effective. And I suppose once you've got the track how you want it, any sort of dusting over the edges just grimes up the track in between.
It's a really effective way of doing it.
So this is ash dust now he's putting on.
It's the effect. It just sometimes it takes a bit of time, clearly, but it's worth it.
You know, we've got a coal fire downstairs. We've got a plentiful supply of ash.
Yeah.
Technically, and coal dust as well.
Yeah.
So but really interesting. So have you posted a link into the chat?
I have, yeah.
So that's definitely one that I'll be coming back to and watching. But thank you very much for sharing that with us.
That is so well done.
Right.
So, yes. Thank you very much, Grongston. And he's in the chat saying he'll be doing another video at a later date once it's all finished off. Just waiting for Hattons to deliver his orders.
Brilliant. So I think actually I have a feeling that War World Scenics also do a range of weathering powders. So I must ask them as well about those, because I'm looking at my track and I'm thinking that's what's missing is the weathering.
Yes.
The ballast.
It looks too clean.
Well, yeah, the ballast has got like I use like an ink in the ballast. But in all honesty, I really like that grimy track look.
So you'll probably go for a bit of that. Oh,
Yeah.
you're going to love this. James Petts has a brilliant line for this. Coal is one of those splendid things that can be modelled easily by taking the full-size item and hitting it with a hammer.
Leslie Gilpin says, are Pico Dusts relabeled War World Scenics? I think they might be. I know the static grass applicators and static grass, War World Scenics do manufacture them for Pico, so I will ask about that.
You're going to love this next one.
Garthian says cigar rash would work well too for people whose parents, grandparents smoke them. Well, it could be an excuse if you yourself like the occasional cigar, like the cupboard monkey does.
Hence the weird croaky voice. I do like.
Oh, you
a good
didn't?
cigar.
No, you didn't smoke that many of them. It's not like you were a chain-smoking cigar chomper.
Yeah, you never met me at university.
I did actually.
Only once or twice. Okay, so we've got a brilliant one here. Chris's Trains has sent a standard gauge, O gauge, both on one track. It's a 5-rail. He's built this himself.
Interesting. So it's
in order to accommodate both O and standard gauge on the same track.
So it's like multi-gauge, like Uber multi-gauge. It's interesting. I'm just looking at that. Is actually quite impressive.
It really is.
So it's all centered around a common center pickup.
Yeah.
So there we are. That one's running on the center tracks. Wow, that's actually a oh, look at that! Look at that!
Loving it.
Yeah. Oh.
I love this whole thing. The size of it, the stuff going on it.
Yeah.
It's all wonderful. I love this.
This could be a Coca-Cola advert. It really does have that sort of... Look at that. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. This is invoking the feelings that I remember from childhood Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like the magic of Christmas. When you become an adult, if you don't have children of your own, Christmas loses that nostalgic magic that you remember, and it's very difficult to rediscover it. But this layout, for me... is doing that, and I'm looking at it and it's invoking those childhood Christmas memories. I love it.
Now you've just got an interesting question. What does the point work look like on this?
Complicated.
Yeah, I bet it is. Oh my goodness.
But this is wonderful. Thank you ever so much for sending this in.
Leslie Gilpin says, is that Lionel? I think it is Lionel Trains.
I suspect it might be, yes.
Well, it had Lionel Junction on there, didn't it?
Right,
that was really good.
Ryan G is heading off, but look, you take care. It's been great having you company. We're only going for probably another 10 minutes.
We've only got 2 more videos to have a look
at.
So
I don't know if Roof Railways was able to resend that video. We'll play it if it does come in.
Check.
But essentially, like I said before, we cannot play a video that is sent as an attachment. It has to be uploaded to something like your YouTube channel and then just send us the link. That's the only way that we can play them. So I always stress this every week.
Yeah.
And then when the stream finishes as well, what I do have to do is fix those cameras. This Class 7 is actually doing really, really well. And this, I'll just reiterate again, is using the DCC Concept Stay Alive system with the Zen. It's actually a Zen Blue Plus decoder because it's a 6-pin chassis on this. But you can see the difference in reliability it's made with the running. And we did a full review video on that. Came out, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but certainly a great product and worth checking out. Right, so this is
Tim Condrup, regular for the channel. He's got the Railway Children 57XX.
Oh, it's because I keep mentioning it. He's got it out to run it. I love this model. And somebody did actually offer me one for sale after I'd commented the first time, and I was like up to the hilt in having spent loads of money. But I may have to recontact them and go, are you still looking to sell that? Because I do love that livery, and that with the coaches as well, because they did it in a set with the 2 coaches and the Oakworth station building. And then you'd have the dilemma, would you incorporate the station building into your model, or would you leave it as part of this lovely ornate boxed set? Now these are the coaches, and the thing I love about these coaches is that even though they're the old tooling ex-mainline coaches, the livery application for this livery does remind me of things like London and North Western Railway livery. And if you want a pseudo pre-grouping set of coaches, these were actually a really good pair to have. It's just a shame that the tooling is apparently broken.
Oh, it's a shame.
The reason I know it's broken is because they had like a final hurrah. They put out a load in LMS livery, actually quite a few, because they sold them separately. They then had them with the Midland Compound number 1000 in a set with the National Railway Museum model. And they also brought them out in the olive green Engineers Signal Box Construction Gang livery. They brought them out in the Railway Children's set, the Ambulance Train set as well.
You did get the ambulance train.
I did get the ambulance train one, definitely. And also the Freising Hall models.
What is that?
That is a Thompson. Looks like a Thompson brake corridor, something like that. That's the older Bachmann model, I'm thinking. They have been completely retooled by Bachmann. So he's building up a train here, a nice little train to go with the... Oh.
Bit of an issue with...
Seems to be a bit jumpy.
There we go.
Yes. I love this train. But they did the Freising Hall Model Railways camping coach, and that proved so popular that Freising Hall Model Railways went back to Bachmann and said, could you do another run? They sold so well. And that was at the point that Bachmann went, actually the mould broke. So unfortunately, unless they completely retool them from scratch, these coaches are no more, which is quite a shame, because I quite like them. They were one of the final items from the old mainline range, and I actually thought they were quite a good model. Roof Railway says, just sending, hold on 1 minute. So there is another one coming through.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
James Hardy says, it's a shame the old gentleman's coach wasn't included. I think the original Trying Hornby one, they used one of their US outline coaches to represent the gentleman's coach.
It's got a massive range of these Thomas and Friends ones.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. I didn't realise how big it was.
Yeah.
We've got an interesting question here. Amory Junction says, Jenny, what's your favourite part of your layout?
Of my layout?
Which layout?
Minith Tatis is probably one of my real favourites at the moment. But if you ask me about this, the area I always keep turning to is the top of the hump, where I've got the Highland Railway signal box with all of the ancillary stuff. We've got some working signals. Oh, sorry.
We're going to jump back now.
So we're jumping on to the next video, but thank you very much, Tim, for sending that in. Very much appreciated. And it's certainly a set that I'm really tempted to try and pick up, but it's just a case of I pick up so much stuff, I spend a lot of money.
You are quite...
Right, and Leslie Gilpin says, Tim, you must get that Furness Railway Baltic tank kit finished. David Watt says, the old Hornby number 1070 Thompson coach. Right. And Stephen Cameron says, the Thompson is a Trying Hornby coach. Right, I'm with you now. Richard Swiderski's chanting, Oakworth. And Ben Tullett reminds me, of course, that there is an O-gauge one coming out from Dapol, and I actually would be very, very tempted. Naive Gauge says, I put some paint stripper on an item of furniture at the start of the stream. Watching Monday Club is not like watching paint dry, but I will soon discover if it is strong enough to strip paint.
You're going to love this one. Remember we were talking about the Radio 1 Roadshow?
So he's done a model of it.
Skipsy Trains is making a model as one of his lockdown projects.
Oh, brilliant.
So this is amazing.
So does he say who the DJs are?
He says 1990 saw the introduction of a new, larger Radio 1 Roadshow, which is based on a pair of trucks parked back to back. By coincidence, this was the first time I got the chance to go to the Radio 1 Roadshow at Sandown on the Isle of Wight. Coincidentally now just down the road from where I live. This is my project, which was completed during the first lockdown in early 2020.
Nice.
So he's actually built this himself.
So 1990, that would have been... Steve Wright would still have been there. Who was doing the breakfast show? Was it Mark and Lard? Or is this before or after? See, this is you're dredging.
Mark and Lard were much after. 1990.
I remember
surely.
Steve Wright in the morning for a brief while. Oh, the Radio 1 Goodie Mobile.
I remember
Yes,
that. I
yes.
remember that.
Oh my word, it's cheesy to look at now, but that is
so much
great.
fun.
Yeah. Actually, Bruno Brooks might have still been on Radio 1 back in 19...
Philip Schofield would have definitely been there.
Possibly, yeah. That was great. Thank you ever
That
so
was
much for charging
so
the
well
old
done.
nostalgia button. Thank you so much for that.
So well done.
Right, Map the Dragon Railway says, I wish Bachmann done an extension pack for the Railway Children coaches. They are such lovely coaches and can suit many places. Problem is that they probably wouldn't sell well. Yeah, but as a pseudo pre-grouping livery, I could see the mileage in them. Certainly, I always wish that they brought them out in Midland Railway livery. I think that was an open goal that they missed. But from the Railway Children's set, they would have probably also suited a pseudo London and North Western Railway livery as well. And they could probably have got away in the same way that both Project Genesis and the Hornby 4 and 6 wheel coaches are getting away with generic pre-groupers. I think there is a market. People want stuff to run with their lovely pretty pre-grouping locomotives, and they would have scratched that itch. So we've got Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond. Has the one from Roof Railways not come through?
I've got nothing here. I'm looking and it's not come through. I'm sorry.
So really sorry, Roof Railways. We've not received anything.
No, I have. We'll get
right,
it
so
on there.
Roof Railways, it has come through. Stop the press. So that Roof Railways, yours will be the final one after we've shown this from Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond, which is 158711 passing Wick Campsite Bridge on the 8th of January this year.
Wow,
so if you
right
make
up to date.
So make it full screen. We've gone over to the browser. There's a lovely weather.
Yeah.
I bet you it was cold, but it looks lovely. Is it actually playing?
It is.
So we'll get there. Don't worry. It's only 30 seconds long, so it's gonna. Here it comes. Here it comes. A lovely countryside. Doo doo. It's lovely.
It looks so real.
Yeah. And actually, the way you framed the power lines into that actually really works in that shot. It's little things like that which can really make a viewing angle.
Yes.
Right, so we've got a final video now from Roof Railways.
I'm trying to load it up, and where's it gone?
Right.
I think it does this on purpose.
Roof Railways, we're not really able... The only reason I played Wardle Road Sound is because I already knew what was in it, and the focus was it being a steam, sound-fitted rocket. Oh. It's probably still processing. It's the music, right?
Content from SME has blocked it in your country on copyright.
Right. The music that you've used appears to have caused a copyright match on YouTube. So I'm just showing up there on the screen so you see what it's done for us. We can't play it. It says the video contains content from SME. I'm assuming that that's a music publishing house who has blocked it in your country on copyright grounds. So all I can say is you've mentioned in your thing about music, I have done, mentioned about music. I think that the music is the issue. So really sorry about that. So
we did send a second one. Let's see what's happened with this.
Is this one going to play?
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Right, so we've got a second video. Okay, so we can play this one.
Okay, this is Roof Railways Metal Hole Christmas Running Session.
So, and again, for copyright reasons as well, we really can't play music off other people's videos.
Oh my goodness, no. And Yorigen Japan, you are... Yes, we have got your video as well. We'll play that as well.
Okay, no worries. We'll squeeze that in at the end. So I'm just looking. Is that the 01? Is it the Thompson 01? I know they're Gresley coaches, I think. No, it's a 280. It's the War Department 280. I think it's... Is this N-gauge?
Might be.
Yes, I'm looking at the couplings. It's N-gauge. I like the Northeastern brake van in the background as well. It's a lovely model. I'm not familiar with N-gauge, so They look like Gresleys. I could be wrong, but they look like Gresleys. Certainly that's a Class 57 Santa train, and then with the War Department 280 at the front. Ballasting's going down there. Ballasting always looks good.
I like the video effects he's used for getting the snow on the screen.
The little flurry of snow, definitely.
Yeah. And it's engaged, yes.
Yeah, and that's that looks like a Hawksworth coach. I do like the Hawksworth coach. The blood and custard one there at the end. I've got a few in 00. Hornby make them in 00. And they are lovely coaches. There's something about the aesthetics of them that I really do like.
It is actually a very nice layout.
A big hello to Gordon Waller as well, just very quickly. He says, sorry for the late appearance, but good evening, Jenny and Zoe. And Andrew Grave explains, SME equals Sony Music Entertainment. So it's something to do with the music you've used. You've got to be ever so careful on YouTube using music. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Sometimes even music that you've made yourself.
Yeah.
Remember when you did you put up just as an unlisted video so you could share it to your school that you're at?
Yes, I shared. Right. This was a home video that my father made in about 1987, back when home video was not a thing. He had what looked like a TV camera. It was a very basic bottom end TV type camera that was sold for making corporate video. So it probably cost thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
But he pulled a little flanker and borrowed it for the weekend, and it meant that he could film my Christmas school play at my primary school. And so he filmed it, and back then, such a times have changed, they actually moved him to the front because it was such a novelty. It's like, oh, get a good view. And then they put the video, because it recorded direct to a VHS tape in a big backpack with like a car battery and a VHS recorder. They then played that to all the parents, and they thought it was a great novelty. But I uploaded this as a unlisted video to YouTube and then shared it with that primary school on the basis that they would find it really interesting to see that school in 1987 with all the little kids who are probably now the parents of the kids that go there. And even though it was they were playing the theme to Vandervolt on recorders, it caused a copyright flag. Even though it was a bunch of school kids playing it on recorders, so you can imagine how bad it sounded. But it caused a copyright. So we've got another video up here.
This is your
right now we move on to the first of this year's FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley. The whole of Sheffield seem to be there.
What is going on? It jumped to a football match.
Where if you go, so it's on Facebook. Oh, Facebook Watch does that. It goes, oh, you finished watching this. We'll put the next video up.
Yeah, well, it can not.
It can go forth and reproduce. Right. So, can we make that full screen?
I am trying my best. Unfortunately, I don't know how quickly I can do that. Oh, for goodness sake! And it's just
no, it's not that one.
I'm trying.
I said not that one.
Yeah. Well, I've got a very cool.
The two arrows.
I know what it is.
Yeah. Right, okay.
I'm now going to try and reverse it all the way back. So here we go. Are you on full screen?
I am now. Oh, I love the scenery. Right. This is from Tennessee. So it's a US outline model, I'm guessing, but the runner. Using UK models. A lovely Hornby Coleman's really lovely.
And that's all it is. So do you want to run it again?
Yeah, run it again. I love the scenery with the long grass and stuff. Really, really nice.
Oh, of course, this is proper football.
There's one. And it's got the Daffodil Barker. Oh, that's Facebook for you.
Yeah, Facebook really loves to mess you around.
It does. But look, thank you very much for that. Mark Holt says, I haven't watched the match. Can we continue it? It's Des Lynam, so wouldn't that be like a really old one? He looked quite young in the footage, so I suspect that it was a small snippet of video from the 1990s.
Yes. And Yorudan Japan says, I'm part of a model railway club in Tennessee, and I'm the only one there who runs British locomotives. This is a video from our Facebook page of mine running, so I'm going to put that link into the chat now.
Thank you very much for that. It's brilliant, and they really suited that layout. That layout, the corner that you chose there, is a kind of a timeless, could be anywhere in the world type look, and it really did work well. And even you put the trains on the correct tracks. I know in America the trains run the other way round, as it were, so you actually run them correct line running as well. I did notice that. But look, thank you ever so much for sending that.
It was playing sound. It wasn't. This is the problem with Facebook. I turned the sound off. It turned it back on. Facebook, you need to sort yourselves out.
Yeah, everybody's saying turn it down. Really sorry.
I didn't even know it was. I turned it off.
We don't know why it's doing that. Oh no, yes we do.
Because it's Facebook, and Facebook does what it wants.
Yeah. So sorry about that, people. But
I don't like Facebook.
Yeah. But look, it's been great having your company. We've come to an end of another. It's just rushed past, has it? Even though I feel absolutely rotten today with illness, it's actually rushed through it, and we've got through this, and I've thoroughly enjoyed your company. Thank you ever so much for joining us on tonight's Monday Club, and thank you everybody who's sent in videos. It's been great to see what you guys have been up to on your model railways. So that'd be why people were saying about the match. They must have heard Des Lynam.
So sorry, guys. I really, really am. It shouldn't have played sound. It wasn't supposed to.
But Facebook, we all know what Facebook's like.
Yeah.
But look, normally we'd sort of cut away and watch some lovely shots of trains panning around.
But we can't.
But we can't because the cameras have decided to stop working. So I will actually have a try and see if I can reinvigorate the cameras.
By having a try, what she's actually going to do is smack them with a hammer.
Yeah. But look, it's been great having your company. You guys take great care of yourself. Don't forget to look out for the Wednesday review video, which is that Hornby 6-wheel coach that you're going to see. I'm pointing over there, even though you guys can't see it. It's going to hove into view, bowled over by the 33. So come on, where's that 33? Let's get you out of the way as fast as possible. There we go. Goodbye.
And
there
it is.
That's the coach. You'll see a full review on that for Wednesday's video. Stay tuned for that. And we've got
the not Lobia Model World.
Thank you. We were talking about you earlier on, saying how much we missed you.
You see, you mentioned him 3 times when he was summoned.
Yes, mentioned Les 3 times, and he turns up with a hot wire cutter to cut your jab line. But it's great to see you, Les. Don't forget as well, everybody, that you can go back and watch any part that you've missed from the stream. And we will see you again next week. Hopefully you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. And look out for the TARDIS. So it's been great having your company. You take really good care of yourself. And good night to you all.
Bye.